the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.
Welcome to Thunderbird Arena and the 2025 Indochino U-Sports Basketball Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. I'm Jake McGrail, along with Ilya Kurbanov and sideline reporter Sarah Saeed, as we get set to bring you today's fourth and final U-Sports Men's Championship quarterfinal contest between the number 3 seed and host UBC Thunderbirds and the number 6 seed UPEI Panthers. After a long and grueling 6-month season, we're down to 5 teams remaining in their quest to hoist the Meade Trophy, with both of these two teams hoping to be the fourth and final team to punch their ticket to the semifinals. Let's meet some of the key players in today's game, beginning with the Thunderbird star wing, Adam Olsen.
Adam Olsen, not only the Canada West star, but probably starting in the entire nation, leading these Thunderbirds in the regular season, averaging 15 points a game, a sharpshooter, someone you can't leave open on any given occasion. He'll make you pay in splits.
Definitely someone that the Panthers will have to keep an eye on the perimeter. And as for UPEI, they have a dynamic all-star guard in Kamari Scott.
Kamari Scott can get to his spots, can shoot off the dribble, get to the free throw line. Was a perennial option in that stellar comeback in the AUS Championship game against CNFX X-Men last week. And you could expect him to do some damage today as well.
When we return, we'll meet the starting lineups and tip off this U-Sports quarterfinal live from Vancouver. You're watching U-Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U-Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
Welcome back to Thunderbird Arena. Player intros are next. We are just about ready to get underway here at Thunderbird Arena, the fourth and final quarterfinal at the Indochino U Sports Final 8. We have the Canada West silver medalist and host of the tournament, UBC Thunderbirds, taking on the AUS champions, the UPEI Panthers. And Ilya, one factor that the Panthers will have to contend with here at Thunderbirds is the size advantage that UBC has, which you'll be able to see once we get going here tonight.
Absolutely, it will definitely a task at hand for the Panthers to have to face the length and the size of these players, but at the same time, the Panthers, cool, calm, collected, have the advantage on a fast break, have a strong trio of guards that can put up some decent numbers offensively and can be a focal presence defense on the defensive end as well. So you could expect guys like Kyrie Thompson, Kamari Scott, who led the way against the X-Men in that incredible comeback victory in the AUS Championship game last weekend in the Metro Center. And it won't be an easy task, but certainly one that they look to overcome.
You can see the ceremonial jump ball there at center court with UBC Thunderbirds legend Leona Sparrow, the honorary chair of this men's and women's singles site pair of tournaments. Jumping center for real, it will be Farid Chatou and Daniel Gonzalez Longarella. Crowd lets loose a cheer as Chatou wins the opening tip and the Thunderbirds control. Brendan Sullivan lobs it to Chatou, trying to get us started with a highlight play. We've seen that play a few times in recent weeks, and they came close to it right there.
Most of the times it was execution perfect, but tad short on the pass.
So now coming the other way. It's into the post. Gonzalez Longarella over Nicola Guzina, and the first blood goes to the team in green. Trying to pressure Sullivan there in the backcourt, but he gets it to Guzina, goes right back at it on the inside, feeds it into the post. Chatou can't finish at the rim, but he picks up his own rebound and lays it in.
Had a smaller Sam Chisholm on him, took advantage, and despite the miss, recouped his own rebound and finished it off.
Here is Chisholm. Kicks it back out to Kamari Scott. Shot clock winding down. Scott has to make some magic happen. Sullivan digging his hands in, and he forces the tie-up. Just 1.2 seconds on the shot clock. Has to be a catch and fire. Scott gets it off in time, off the mark, and a shot clock violation is called.
Good defensive possession by the Thunderbirds, forcing the Panthers into a difficult shot.
Sullivan now finds Chateau in the high post. Gives it back out. Some aggressive trapping from the Panthers pays off as Gonzalez Longarella is rejected. Fareed Chateau coming home to the rescue.
Nothing in the house. Sullivan trailing the play and does just enough to affect the shot, and Chateau picks up the slack and slams it out of bounds.
Now it's Chisholm from the corner. Big shot. He struggled offensively in the 2 AUS playoff games, but hits his first here as Adam Olsen unable to connect from the outside. Panthers trying to push the pace into the corner. Wide open. Kyrie Thompson unable to hit. Toby Akinkunmi, another UBC turnover. That's 3 already. Cohen the other way. Hugo Bermejo laying it in.
A quick start to this offense. The Panthers taking advantage of this momentum at the start of the game.
Olsen, Sullivan trying to hit Guzina in the post, and another UBC turnover, perhaps getting sped up a little bit by the Panthers so far.
The Panthers are doing just enough to put pressure on the guard plate, forcing them into making a decision immediately. Guzina obviously cutting down to the basket, but doesn't have the position established, hence the turnover and the ball going out of bounds.
Thompson finds Scott, drives into traffic. Now it's Bermejo. Tough turnaround jumper is pure.
Bermejo makes it count on back-to-back possessions. The Panthers off to a quick start, 9-2.
Olsen into Guzina. Up against Gonzalez Longarella in the post, who knocks it away. Another fast break opportunity. Bermejo, Chateau! Another emphatic rejection.
Critical play by Chateau. However, the T-Birds need to find some offense.
Chateau trying to throw it to Guzina, ended up throwing it off the rim, and now another fast break. Thompson, Chisholm, another UBC block. It's been the only highlight so far. They've been certainly pretty ones, but UBC wants some points on the board too. Thompson, end to end. An immediate timeout by the T-Birds.
Kyrie Thompson showing some emotion after that finish. Coach Hansen forced to call a timeout as the Thunderbirds struggle to find offense.
And on the other end, the Panthers, lightning fast start. They are up 11-2 early on. You're watching U Sports on CBC. We'll come after the break.
Délaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
Where will the T-Birds go for some offense? Just 2 points in the first nearly 4 minutes. Gus Gertson, Victor Radakai in off the bench. Against a UPEI team that was #1 in the AUS in defense this season. Radakai immediately gets the feed from Sullivan and lays it in.
Sullivan is great at attacking the gaps and finding his players inside the paint. Great playmaker.
He has stepped up his assist numbers in a big way in the postseason. Had a great Canada West playoff run at the point. Thompson into Gertson. Good defense there on the drive. Now Sullivan to Chateau under the basket. And back-to-back buckets coming out of that timeout.
And back-to-back feeds off Sullivan, finding his big man on the inside, feeding them early and in transition.
Bermejo, Chisholm, kicks it out. Scott drives, spins, the fall away, drops. Both teams playing fast here early on. Olsen trying to create some separation from Chisholm. Rises up over him, no good. Chateau flies in to bat it out. Gertson, catch, fire! And the first three-pointer of the game for the T-Birds, but Panthers giving them no time to rest.
Pushing that pace, it's something that they do extremely well. They have a number of guards that can come off the bench and start. They'll just run the transition.
Radakai backing down in the post. Draws the foul, but it's ruled to be on the floor. No continuation on that one. Now have Owen Smith checking in for the Panthers, as well as Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella checking in for his older brother. About 5.5 minutes into this one. The nightcap at Thunderbird Arena. Radakai in the post, can't finish, fight for the ball. Will remain in the hands of the Thunderbirds.
Continue to attack the inside. They know they have the size advantage. Go in and try to apply that pressure, drawing another foul on the inside. This time Radakai.
And you can see it's a major point of emphasis for Coach Kevin Hansen and his staff. They want the team to get inside every possible moment. Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella checking out. Very short stint for him. Sam Dick in. Sullivan drives to the basket, hanging in the air. No whistle, going the other way is Scott. He lays it in.
Licks out in transition, asking for the ball, and Hugo Bermejo makes a beautiful play.
Gertson can't hit the three. Ball goes right to Olsen. Creates some separation. The body bump, creating room for the fadeaway.
Standing at 6'8", makes no problem shooting over most of the defenders in the country.
Dick trying to get it to Bermejo. Instead he goes to Chisholm. He'll pull back, take the three, and he'll make the three.
Another player who can make it work from the three-point line.
Radakai in the post once again, going to the left, and he floats it in. The UPEI sideline furious, wanting a travel call, not given. Bermejo into the post. Dick, double teamed, kick. Chisholm can't hit that time, but offensive rebound. Bermejo trying to put the moves on Gertson, floats it up high with the left. Another offensive board, turning around from Dick, no good. And now it's Radikai who has his hands on it. Sullivan hits the deck and is fouled.
Sam Chisholm, one of the hardest working players you get to cover in the AOS. The times when I spent my days at Dalhousie, I've seen him guard some tough opponents and not backing down against any competition, and you see it on display now. Puts his heart out on the defensive end, knocking down some key triples for the Panthers.
Bridgetown native, now in his 4th year. Matchup right now with Micah Jesse. Arno Conan now in for the first time for the T-Birds. Chateau back in, drives right into traffic. Can't get it to go. Jesse trying to save it. I believe a foul was called. Or in fact, it was just out of bounds. Last off for the Panthers. Conan drives up, and he lays it in. It's Terrence Booker now out there at the point for the Panthers. Both teams going deep into their bench here in this first quarter. Turnover, just the second for UPEI. Talk about a fast-paced first quarter here in this one.
Not a lot of stoppages, both teams pushing the pace in transition.
Jesse, step back 3 off the mark. Gertson with the board, floats it up and in.
Somehow gathers that offensive rebound and gets the shot off in the same motion.
Daniel Gonzalez-Longarella back in. Hands it off to Booker. He'll pull from the outside. No good. Jesse rips down the rebound, but it's into the hands of Gonzalez-Longarella. Kyrie Thompson wide open. Can't make it count, but Smith is there.
And another offensive board by the Panthers is going to start to pile up as they continue attacking. And Booker this time on the parallel, knocking it.
Talk about relentless energy as Gus Gertson gets perhaps the loudest cheer so far with that up and under and one.
Not often you see Gus Gertson attacking the basket. A lot of times with the T-Birds, you'll find them around the three-point line, getting open, knocking down triples. This time, back-to-back possessions, gets involved on the inside and makes it work.
Lead is now down to 1. Substitutions continue to come thick and fast on both sides. Booker navigating around a couple of screens. Now Dick gives it up to Chisholm. Back into the post. And Gertson with the rejection. Just 1.4 seconds on the shot clock.
That's 4 blocks now.
Chisholm to inbound. Gets it to Thompson. He fires, no good. UBC with the chance to push. Jesse had a bunch of defenders around him, and Thompson knocks it out of play. Just 42 seconds left before the quarter break.
Great hustle play by Thompson. Takes that last second shot and hustles back to make a play on the ball.
Conan now finds Guzina. Backing down. Spins, trying to create some separation. Great defense. Gonzalez-Longarella.
Unfazed, not moved.
And then a foul is called on Guzina on the perimeter. So wipe away that potential basket there from Thompson. And then another foul away from the ball, but not close to the bonus yet are the Panthers.
There's lots of Panthers fans in the standings here, cheering on this number 6 seed visiting all the way from Prince Edward Island.
Just about a 4-second difference, game clock and shot clock. Gonzalez Longarella, a couple of defenders on him. He spins with the left, can't finish. UBC chance for one more opportunity. Jesse has to put it up. Step back, triple, no good. And no basket on the follow by Gertson. And we are knotted at 20 after 1.
That would have been a highlight play if it counted. But what a start by both teams, pushing the pace and working hard to be in this position.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle. Resilience. We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers. Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her,
Be her.
First quarter statistics are brought to you by Wilson, makers of the official U Sports Basketball League. Very even opening quarter between these two teams. What stood out to you the most, Ilya?
I think it's the defensive pressure by both teams. Obviously the Panthers, the size, and they're not favored when it comes down to the size in this matchup, but they're not backing down. You've seen a couple of possessions. They try to get Nick Guzina get involved early, but it's not working out, as Gonzalez Zangarella is not backing down. And on the other hand, when they get in transition, the Panthers, the Shittu made them work a number of times, rejecting every opportunity he had his hands on. And it's been that type of afternoon, evening at this point for both teams.
Conan, Gertson, Olsen, Shittu, and Guzina out there to start the second for the T-Birds. Shittu spins, can't float it in. Hugo Bermejo with the board. Out there with Thompson, Gonzalez, Longarella, Chisholm, and Scott. Turnover going the other way, just the third for UPEI. Conan floated pass, risky, picked off, and Daniel Gonzalez Longarella scores the first basket of the second quarter.
Risky pass by Conan.
Now Shittu in the corner, can't hit the three. 1 for 7 from the outside are the T-Birds, 2 for 10 are the Panthers. Both coming from Chisholm. Bermejo kicks it back out. Scott drives. Gonzalez Longarella barreling into Shittu, and a blocking foul is called.
Shittu fighting for position, and late call coming through. Gonzalez Langarella stays active, maybe drops the shoulder a little bit, but officials saw enough contact to make that call.
Sullivan, Akinkunmi, and Radakai all back in for UBC. Chisholm back in for the Panthers. They have their starting five out there on the court. Gonzalez Longarella, blocked by Radakai, but he gets it right back. Knocked away by Sullivan, he gets it back again, and he lays it in.
What an effort by Gonzalez Langarella. Stays in play, continues to be aggressive, gets yet another offensive rebound and converts.
Radakai has been active off the bench. He can't fish right there. Gonzalez Longarella, speaking of active, he's involved in everything right now.
I don't think we've seen him not go for an offensive or a defensive rebound in this game. See him walking up and down the court, taking a much-deserved break, breathing.
He double-doubled in both of UPEI's AUS playoff victories. They won their 5th conference championship in program history, making it to nationals for the 2nd time in the last 3 seasons. Kamari Scott, step back, mid-range, sticks it.
Incredible shooting off the dribble. Showed that number of times against the X-Men in that championship game.
Gertson, Radakai, no-look feed. Akinkunmi left wide open, in and out. Panthers again not wanting to let that defense get set. This time it's an offensive foul. Scott can't believe it.
Oh, slightly off balance into the body of, I believe, Shatu on the other end. Akinkunmi, pardon me.
UBC trying to get their offense going. Olsen. Radakai, nice dish, and he is fouled and will head to the free throw line.
The T-Birds continue to feed inside. Radakai this time off the pick and roll action with Adam Olsen. Draws that foul. They need to get some movement off the ball on the weak side to get the defense to rotate.
Six points for Radakai now. And 16 of the 22 points, bench points for UBC, the starting lineup. Not been able to find the bottom of the net so far. Chisholm as Radakai switched onto him. Creates some separation, jumper is short. And now Sullivan pushing the pace. Radakai trying to seal off the paint. Akinkunmi, pump fakes. Drives into Chisholm. Radakai sizes up Gonzalez Longarella and loses it. Bermejo the other way. Euro step move from the European.
A beautiful Euro by Bermejo. And a nice lay-in to sum it up.
It is back to 6. Sullivan slips. Tries to get it to Gertson, and it's another turnover.
It's a turnover number 9 by the Thunderbirds. Struggling to take care of the ball early.
Into the hands of Thompson. Shot clock winding down. Grab there by Gertson, and that'll be 2 free throws for the Panthers.
Tough foul there to take by Gertson. He's been leading this team in scoring so far. And he picks up his 2nd personal.
Definitely not what the Thunderbirds would have wanted there, as it's a change at the point of attack position. Jerry Hayes coming in for the first time tonight. Micah Jesse also back in. Played well off the bench in the Canada West final against the Calgary Dinos last weekend. It is a 9-2 run to begin the quarter. Radakai, bounce pass inside, Akinkunmi can't finish. Now Scott. Bounce pass to Chisholm in the passing lanes. Jerry Hayes comes up with it, finds Olsen to the basket, plus the foul.
And a much-needed bucket for the Thunderbirds to get something going. Hayes does a beautiful job being patient, sees the cutting Olsen in transition and finds him for an N1 opportunity. T-Birds leading scorer is up to 4 in this game.
Unable to finish the end one, but UBC does get the offensive rebound. Hayes to Olsen. Step back, triple, no good. Still just the one triple made by UBC so far tonight. Bermejo gives it up to Chisholm. Shot clock winding down. Scott has to put it up. Pulls the three and he hits it.
Huge triple by Kamari Scott. Shot clock going down against a much taller Akinkunmi.
Tough shot maker, and now a turnover. Bermejo. He is fouled by Radakai. As the Panthers continue to hold the momentum here in this second quarter. Lead is back to 8, and the Thunderbirds will have to try and find a way to fight back here at home. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Aussi bon que Messi. C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions. Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to Thunderbird Arena. It is 32-24 in favor of the 6th seed AUS champions, UPEI Panthers, as they have not let the Thunderbirds get any offensive momentum going here tonight.
Forced 10 turnovers committed as well by the Thunderbirds, 11 points off those turnovers as well. Excuse me, make it 16 and 11 in this quarter so far.
Exactly half of the Panthers' points coming off of turnovers. Scott coming around the outside and he lays it in. Biggest lead of the night for UPEI. Thunderbird searching for answers on this end of the floor. Olsen drives, finds Guzina, and a big bucket inside for the big man.
The dribble penetration forcing that hub defense to rotate, leaving Guzina wide open.
This type of plays the Thunderbirds have been trying to do throughout this first half, but only been successful on a few occasions. Scott again taking the shot clock down, this time unable to hit. Gonzalez Longarella, circus shot underneath.
Now offensive rebound number 8.
Backdoor feed and a bit of a bailout there for the Thunderbirds. Chisholm called for holding Olsen. They had a foul to give.
3:46 left in this quarter. The Thunderbirds will look to shrink that lead, but another turnover.
Now Thompson going the other way, puts it over 2 defenders and in. Timeout called. The Thunderbirds all out of sorts on the offensive end.
Unable to get anything going, and the problem is they need to attack, they need to stay aggressive. They've been able to engage that help side defense. They need to continue to do that whilst slowing down that dribble penetration defensively on the other end. You've seen Kyrie Thompson getting in, get that defense engaged. You have to put a body on the box out, find an open man as the shot goes up, but those offensive rebounds, they start to pile up. You got 9 second chance points, 20 points off turnovers. You need to do something defensively. You have to make those adjustments. It is not working so far for the Thunderbirds whatsoever on either end of the floor.
And on the side of the Panthers, could not have asked for a better start if you're Coach Daryl Glenn, the AUS Coach of the Year this season, and his game plan certainly working, being disruptive, running the fast break whenever possible, and they have been taking advantage of everything that the Thunderbirds have given them so far.
Since Coach Daryl Glenn took over the program, it's been growing year in and year out. They've reached the AUS championship game back-to-back years. They've made to the AUS playoffs in almost every single year that he's been there, except his first.
Program trying to put the U Sports world on notice with what would be a massive victory here tonight. Thompson harassing Hayes, gets it to Olsen. Has the space to shoot, and he drains it from the mid-range.
Olsen needs to continue to shoot that ball as well as he has throughout the year.
Chisholm, Bermejo. The no-look feed, Chisholm, catch and shoot, no good. Hayes has it, Akinkunmi wants it ahead. Hayes elects not to pass and he turns it over. Thompson, and that'll be goaltending. Would have been a putback anyway.
And a 10-point lead reestablished again by, make it 12, excuse me, by the Panthers.
Brendan Sullivan back out on the court, trying to steady the ship and try and stamp down on the turnover issues. Olsen, Chateau wasn't ready for it. Number 13, and most of them have been live ball turnovers. Thompson drives, trapped under the baseline, kicked it to Scott. Now Bermejo through Olsen, can't finish. Sullivan almost poked away there by Scott. Now Chateau, dish, Guzina. And there's a good job breaking through that pressure of the Panthers. Gonzalez Longarella to Thompson. Right into the body of Akinkunmi. And that'll be 2 free throws as the Panthers are in the bonus.
Akinkunmi picking up his second personal. A warning has been called against the bench on the Thunderbirds. And they need to slow down the pace of this game. so far. Obviously, the Panthers are pushing the pace because it favors them. That's their advantage against this very sizable match up of the Thunderbirds. And they are doing so on the defensive end as well, putting that pressure on the ball handlers and not letting them loose and off the hook.
Thompson misses both at the free throw line, so the lead remains at 10. Sullivan, step back, the triple, no good. Just 1:30 to play in the first half. Bermejo winding things down. Chisholm drives end line into the corner. Thompson has to put it up. Contested shot, bounces around and in.
Another bucket for Kyrie Thompson as he gets hit hard by that screen.
No one called out to him clearly that Akinkunmi was going to lay the body with a massive screen. Sullivan then draws a foul.
Sullivan has been the one trying to slow down the pace and get his guys involved. Seen him dribble, penetrate, and dump it off to his bigs earlier on in the first quarter. But since then, those turnovers haven't allowed them to get into much offense.
Nyland Roberts, Canada West all-rookie team member, in for the first time off the bench. Scott hands it off. Smith, Dick. Ball movement by the Panthers leads to a blocking foul called on Sullivan, and more free throws upcoming.
Sullivan not happy with the official with that call. You see Bermejo drop that shoulder on the way in and kind of going off balance as well, as Sullivan had his position established.
And now just 1 for 5 from the free throw line are the Panthers. Really the only weakness that's been present in their game so far. And another missed free throw. But Chateau unable to keep that one in play, so the Panthers will retain possession with 48 seconds to go. Inbound, bounce pass, Dick under the basket. And he is fouled by Radakai.
Again, those offensive boards making the Thunderbirds work. Radakai picks up his second personal, and Guzino will check back in, ensuring that he doesn't get his third with these 44 seconds left in the first half.
It's Sam Dick at the line, and he ends the free throw woes for the Panthers. And that'll be defensive basket interference. Just been that kind of half for the T-Birds. Just about everything that can go wrong has gone wrong.
Looks like Coach Hansen unhappy with the call, and by the FIBA rules, I believe if the ball had touched the rim after the shot and it hadn't fallen in the net, you're allowed to wipe it off the cylinder. But not sure if there was any contact on that shot.
In any case, it's a point on the board for the Panthers. The 44th of this first half. Guzina spins, drives, and he'll head to the free throw line. It's been a parade to the stripe in these last couple of minutes of the first half.
This is something the Thunderbirds need to continue to be doing. Engage the bigs, get inside. They have the size advantage. Slow down that pace of the game, get into the front court and try to run that offense instead of trying to speed up, forcing the issue, making the ball enter where it's not supposed to.
And 2 more free throws missed, and now another foul is called. This one on Farid Chatou.
Another player with a pair before the halftime. Guzina on the previous one couldn't convert those 2 free throws.
Now it's into the hands of Kamari Scott. Game high 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting for him so far tonight. The AUS first team All-Star. The lone starter remaining from the last time that UPEI made it to the national championship tournament. He scored 32 points in the quarterfinals against UVic and a 1-point loss for the Panthers, trying to make it to that semifinal round this time around. The free throw party continues, and Guzina, again, unable to hit.
That Panther team was special, having alongside him Elijah Miller, another explosive guard who had gone to play professional basketball overseas.
This year's Panthers team holding a double-digit lead over the host Thunderbirds. Unable to finish there inside was Bermejo. Guzina knocked away, trying to do a little too much with it. Bermejo floats it home. Shot clock, game clock about to run out as Sullivan heaves off the front rim. And the UPEI Panthers have a 14-point lead over the Thunderbirds heading into halftime.
A very comfortable lead as well, continuing to attack the offensive glass, forcing the turnovers. The Thunderbirds struggle to find any offensive rhythm, unable to engage in any offensive play. And
offensively, UBC just 1 for 11 from the outside, 13 for 33 from the field, and now we're going to go over to our sideline reporter, Sarah Saeed, who is with Coach Daryl Bland.
Coach, coming off a big win as AUS champions and starting off the first half here in the lead, how do you keep that momentum going?
Well, I mean, I thought we played fairly well. I wish we were free throws, and we've given up some offensive. We'd like to get back, but besides that, that's how we're playing so far.
Thanks, Coach. Il est très satisfait de la façon qu'ils ont joué, mais il veut improver un peu. Merci.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Describe myself as a very outgoing, fun, energy, happy guy. I really love to play basketball. I'm just a very generous, big personality guy. I always have a smile on my face. Friends call me Smile sometimes just because I'm always smiley. One thing that like my dad always told me was to build connections and anybody I meet, just to always stay in contact. Those type of relationships go a long way. So I've always been from young. I've always just had a good relationship with teachers or friends or family friends. If somebody used to ask like who is Kamari Scott or how is he, they will leave a good review on me basically. Just knowing what type of person I am. I'm looked at as definitely a leader on the team. Definitely somebody that the guys look up to in any situation, just because I've been here for so long. I've been through a couple of finals, I've been to nationals, so a lot of the guys look up to me and look like when things aren't going good, like I'm supposed to be the energy guy, I'm supposed to carry the team. I wouldn't say a lot of pressure, but definitely I hold a lot of standards to myself. Life here on the island is pretty good. Summer times are probably amazing, like they're to die for. So I've spent 3 summers here already. Lots of job opportunities, lots of coaching opportunities, and I also train kids like during the summer here too. So I love it. So basically, it's for Black athletes in youth sports that basically have a plan or are basically trying to accomplish or chase a dream or goal. For say, a lot of us Black athletes are maybe on the less fortunate side, funding wise. This program kind of helps you kind of start whatever process you're going through, or if you're in need of something. It's a really good if you get the opportunity in the near future. Very honored to be a part of that group. I always feel like when I accomplish things like that, like hard work definitely pays off. I was very happy. I texted R80 right away, and I thanked them, and I was like very grateful for the opportunity. But I think I showed my mom right away. I was like, Mom, I won. And I don't win a lot of things like money wise or just awards wise. So when I ever get the award to win something like that, I'm very honored.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle.
Resilience.
We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers. Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her,
Be her.
This is more than just a game. This is about who rules the court. The U Sports Basketball Championships, March 13th to 16th on CBC Gem.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.
Halftime statistics are brought to you by Wilson, the official U Sports Basketball, as it is 47-33 in favor of UPEI over the UBC Thunderbirds. You see the differences in the field goal percentage between the two teams as the Thunderbirds unable to get their offense going, and Ilya, the Panthers have just done a fantastic job of gumming things up, not letting them get any sort of rhythm.
The number one thing, they're pushing the pace. They're not afraid. They're going at them despite the size disadvantage that's going against them. They forced 14 turnovers and managed to get 24 points off of those turnovers. And first and foremost, it's not some of those where the Thunderbirds are, last second passes get picked off. It's they push the pace on the defensive end and forcing the Thunderbirds into uncomfortable positions. And on the other end, they're not afraid of that challenge. They're going at them. They're staying aggressive, generating some good looks on the inside and corralling the offensive glass as well.
It is Kamari Scott leading the way with 12 points, 4 rebounds, but he, Thompson, Bermejo, and Gonzalez Longarella all with 8 points or more in a balanced offensive approach. For the Panthers, UBC, it's Gus Gertzen leading the way with 8 points and 4 rebounds, although he was slowed by some foul trouble in that first half, which is compounded on the various issues that the T-Birds were having. But the UBC lineup unable to get that consistent scoring from the inside or the outside. Of course, it's not an insurmountable lead. I mean, the two of us, we saw the game earlier today between Ottawa and Concordia where a halftime deficit was erased with basically the snap of a finger. Of course, Concordia ended up falling in the end, but they made quite a game out of it. So with 20 minutes to play, UBC, they need to come out with a new mindset, with a new approach in this one, and they still have to believe that they are very much right in this one.
Genuinely, they just have to slow down the pace of the game. They cannot fall into the trap of the Panthers where they know they have dynamic guards who love to run the floor, both defensively and offensively. If you're able to get over the half-court line, get into the front court, and start running your plays instead of forcing the issue, I think the Thunderbirds have a chance. But if they fall into that trap again of playing fast, it will play in the favor of the Panthers, and they will be stuck in the same position with that 14-point deficit against them.
We'll see what the second half has in store. The final action of the day here at the Indochino U Sports Final 8. Nice ball movement by the Panthers to start things off. Air ball on the 3 attempt there from Thompson, and UBC gets a stop. Chateau drives, goes up with the left, can't finish. Victor Radikai is out there to start the second half in place of Nikola Guzina. Unable to get that offensive rebound. Now Bermejo gets it to Scott, guarded by Akinkunmi, one of the top defenders on this UBC team, forcing a very tough shot, and Radikai with the board.
And back-to-back good defensive possessions now. They have to take advantage and get something on the board.
Sullivan jump stops in traffic, trying to force it inside, and another turnover. That is for UBC. Olsen trying to block the attempt from Scott. He's unable to do so. Sullivan knocked away there by Thompson, will remain UBC ball. Olsen, Chisholm on him, gets it to Akinkunmi. He'll fire from the outside, short on the 3. Sullivan flying in and hitting the ground hard.
Slow to get up and in a lot of discomfort. Definitely had his winds knocked out of him on that fall. Was flying in from the opposite side, trying to gather that offensive board. And now Coach Hansen stepping in, check in on his player and make sure that Brandon Sullivan is okay.
You see hit the ground hard right on his ribs. Definitely likely to have had the wind knocked out of him right there. And he'll take a seat on the bench. Arno Konen coming in.
Sullivan, a very important piece of this Thunderbirds offense, gets the guys involved, and hopefully he'll be okay and able to come back into the game.
And on the other end, Bermejo, hassled by Konen, gets it to Chisholm, drives, baseline, picked off. Konen going the other way as Chitu with him, feeds the big man who throws it down, but he's called for a travel.
That looked like a good drop step, perhaps a step too quick on that hammer.
Definitely looked like a good jump stop right there, but been that kind of night so far for the T-Birds. Gonzalez Longarella finds Scott for three, it's good!
The Thunderbirds are yet to score in the second half. And it's a 19-point lead with 7:35. There's a lot to play for.
The Calgary Dinos await the winner of this one in the semifinals. Another turnover by the T-Birds. Bermejo, Euro step knocked away. Konen, a couple of steals since he came in off the bench for Sullivan. Big one right there, Chitu. Radikai can't finish at the rim. Bermejo taking time off the clock, finds Scott. Bodied inside, knocked out a play, will remain Panthers ball.
The sidelines yelling out shot clock for the Panthers.
Thompson takes advantage of the space, drives, can't finish. Konen right into the body, and he's called for the offensive foul.
Kyrie Thompson establishes his feet, and Konen drops his shoulder enough to make contact.
Oh, Brendan Sullivan back in. Feeling all right after his hard fall earlier in the quarter. Gus Gertson also back in for the first time in this second half after scored 8 points early on. Into the post, Gonzalez Longarella, nice dish. Bouncing around the rim, it can't drop, and Radikai can't hold on to the ball. UBC just can't get anything going right now.
And it's been that kind of evening for the Thunderbirds.
Bermejo finds Sam Dick, who just came back in off the bench. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Gonzalez Longarella. Bermejo drives, puts it up with the right, and it drops.
Somehow gets it through the hands of Chitu. A beautiful up and under.
Foul called on the perimeter on the Panthers. Sullivan goes the other way on the screen, up with the right, in the first basket of the second half for UBC.
Is the much needed one. Still down 19.
Bermejo fakes the alley-oop pass and he lays it in. Timeout called by the Thunderbirds, and the Panthers are feeling it. It is 56-35 for UPEI. UBC need to put a run together quickly. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
Welcome back to Thunderbird Arena, where the home confines have not been very homely for the UBC Thunderbirds here so far tonight. Shooting just 37% from the field, 1 for 12 from the outside, and more importantly, 17 turnovers compared to just 6 for the Panthers. They need a massive run to start very soon if they are to have a chance in this one, as Guzina unable to finish at the rim. Hugo Bermejo, not always a prolific scorer during the regular season, but 12 points here tonight, 3 dimes. Kyrie Thompson gets it back out to the outside, almost a turnover. Chisholm off the back iron. Gertson has the double team flash towards him. Now inside, Guzina again can't finish under the basket.
It's been that kind of night for the Thunderbirds. Can't find any rhythm offensively. Guzina struggling to get his touch at the rim.
Bermejo sizes up Chateau, drives, spins through contact, and he's fouled. That'll be number 3 on Farid Chateau.
Bermejo does a tremendous job getting away from Chateau, but enough contact in the back makes him lose his balance and drawing that foul.
Now just 4 for 11 from the free throw line are the Panthers. UBC 6 for 10. Chateau pulls down that defensive rebound. Another roll of the dice from Thunderbirds coaching staff. Tony Marich in for the first time. Now Adam Olsen coming back in. As well as Arno Conan, and then on the side of the Panthers, Kamari Scott and Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella. Akinkunmi drives by his man, puts it up, and will head to the free throw line.
Gets in the lane, attacks, stays aggressive, unable to finish through contact, however. The Thunderbirds have enough firepower to stay in that mode, but they need to find those finishes. The clock is not playing in their favor.
Just 14 minutes to play. 4 minutes left in the third. UBC just 4 points so far here in the third quarter. Bermejo has been at the controls here in this frame. Chisholm drives, goes around his screen, and it will remain UPEI ball. Unable to control the rebound there were the T-Birds. Bermejo trying to find Dick initially. Gets it to Scott, almost stolen by Marriage. And then he's called for a travel, trying to put a dribble move together.
He was a bit too quick on his feet for his own good.
Gertson gives it up to Conan, who's trapped on the pick and roll and just loses the handle. A lot of the turnovers due to some good Panthers pressure, but a lot of them just unforced errors by this UBC team.
And it's been that kind of a game the whole evening.
And then Akinkunmi comes up with the great defensive play, just can't finish on the other end. Scott, leading scorer so far for the Panthers. Trying to drive inside, tough shot, tough finish.
Big time players make big time plays. Kamari Scott on both ends of the floor gets the finish, forces another Thunderbirds turnover. And the Thunderbirds need answers, and if they will make it happen, it's now or never.
Need to close this quarter well if they're to have any chance in the fourth. Panthers doing all the little things. Playing a perfect road game so far tonight as Chisholm, the floater, misses. Jerry Hayes finds Gertson from the outside, no good. Fight for the rebound, Merritt trying to get it. It's last off of the Vancouver native. After a short rest, Kyrie Thompson now back in. Thompson gets it to Dick. Now it's into the hands of Bermejo. Shot clock winding down. UPEI happy to take more and more time off of the total amount left in this one. Offensive rebound, Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella, and he is fouled.
Only first personal for Merrick, but it is third team foul. And another offensive board.
Almost a steal, but Gonzalez Longarella has it. Marriage, and just another unforced error. Thunderbirds can't seem to put both their feet in front of him right now.
It's been a turnover show by the Thunderbirds. Unable to get their hands on the ball. Another foul called against them.
You can see Thompson, when the whistle came a little late, he initially looked over at the refs thinking, seriously? You didn't call that? And then, okay, well, better late than never, I guess.
Minute and 50 plus another 10. 21-point lead favoring the Panthers is becoming a huge issue for the Thunderbirds.
Jerry Hayes He loses the handle. Micah Jesse is there to pick it up. Drive, kick into the corner. Gertson blocked. Kamari Scott flying in for the rejection. Now going the other way. And he'll head to the line.
In these situations, when you know you got your shot blocked, you have to stop the transition. You can't get Kamari Scott off to the foot races. You're trailing the play, and once you are, he'll continue to attack and force you to commit that foul that you don't want to do. He's up to 19 points, 6 rebounds, and very efficient 8 for 12 shooting.
Marich. Micah Jesse pulls from the outside. No good. And a foul called. UBC will retain possession.
It's desperation time. The Thunderbirds would want to score at least good 4-6 points before the end of this quarter.
Jerry Hayes to Gertson. Back to Hayes. Shot clock winding down, and not the foul that Gonzalez Longarella wanted to give away. Frustrated with himself after that one, but UPEI still had one to give.
Next one would be bonus, and that's third personal on Gonzalez Longarella. That would be Nicholas.
Marich, shot clock at 5, goes to the basket, puts up the tough shot, and he'll head to the line.
Still a minute, just a little less than a minute left in the third. Chateau checks back in. We'll have to play carefully.
Panthers outscoring the T-Birds 14-4 here in the third quarter. It's not been UPEI's best offensive quarter of the night so far. That honor goes to the second, but just nothing going UBC's way offensively here in the third. Hayes pokes it into the backcourt. Terrence Booker has it stripped. Marich. Now it's Hayes going the other way. Spinning around, putting it up, no good. And Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella with the rebound. Nice move by Thompson. And he's fouled by Jesse.
Good foul committed there by Jesse, but offensively you have to finish those looks. Those opportunities don't come that often if you're the Thunderbirds, especially with the way they've been playing offensively. "25 points. The Thunderbirds will be looking for a miracle to fight their way back into this one.
Free throw good there by Thompson, one of the electric guards on this Maritime squad. Hayes holding it for the last shot of the quarter. Uses the screen from Marich, finds Gertson coming around, feeds it to Jesse. Chateau has to hoist it. And a perhaps fitting end to the third quarter. The UBC Thunderbirds unable to get anything going, and the UPEI Panthers are just 10 minutes away from advancing to the U Sports semifinals. You're watching U Sports on CBC. Just one more quarter to play.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
The statistics after 3 quarters are brought to you by Wilson Evolution, official U Sports basketball. Now, I'm not sure quite how many people in Charlottetown are watching right now live, as it is almost 2 a.m. out there in the Maritimes. But for any of you who are still awake, still conscious, still watching, you are could not be more happy with what you are seeing so far, as the Panthers are taking a 26-point lead into the 4th quarter.
And I'm sure many of those who are staying up, like you said, definitely are enjoying the basketball that they're seeing. This Panthers team, who already fought enough adversity in the AOS championship game, overcome a 20-point lead, are just 10 minutes away pulling off the upset in the U Sports Final 8 here at the Thunderbirds Arena.
And just to put into perspective how monumental of a win this would be, the Panthers have not won an opening round game at the National Championship Tournament since 1985, when they defeated the Winnipeg Westmen in their opener. History on the line for the Charlottetown outfit here as we get underway in the 4th quarter.
Kamari Scott picking up his second on that loose ball foul. Conan, who lost the handle for a second, hustled back to get that ball.
Conan finds Olsen, trying to drive on Scott, creates that separation and hits the jumper. Adam Olsen has been unable to get some consistent string of buckets together. He crashes into our table. Hard fall. Hopefully he's all right as the Panthers score. Chateau to the basket. Can't finish, but he's fouled by Daniel Gonzalez-Longarella. And then I think Kamari Scott just got teed up.
That's a 3rd foul on Kamari Scott. And Olsen.
I'm not sure exactly what Scott said, but both he and Coach Daryl Glenn very confused by that decision. Olsen does miss the free throw.
And Chateau will shoot a pair after drawing a foul on before that technical call made by the officials.
It would take a Herculean effort in this 4th quarter for the T-Birds to spring a comeback. And it'll have to start at the offensive end, where it has been more than just a struggle through the first 3. Scott loses the handle. The crowd trying to will them forward. Olsen dish, Chateau Chisholm there to knock it away. Bermejo gets it to Chisholm. And the Panthers, you'd expect, will try and run down as much clock as possible whenever they have it. Into the corner, Chisholm for three, in and out.
Somehow Bermejo gets away with 3 steps.
Now into the corner. Gonzalez Longarella not letting Gertson get off the shot, although he is then called for the foul.
That would be 4th personal, and this is the moment where you have to continue to stay aggressive. Both Nicholas and Daniel Gonzalez Longarella now with 4 fouls apiece. And this is where the Thunderbirds need to exploit these opportunities.
However, it's another turnover, 21 now on the night for UBC. Chisholm. Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella wants it in the post, up against Olsen, and he's rejected. Coming the other way now, Jesse losing the handle. How many times has that happened tonight? Bermejo wide open, touchdown pass. Jesse, Chateau goes up and he slams it home. T-Birds will need to force some turnovers of their own if they're to try and put a run together. Thompson right into the body of Olsen. Contact doesn't lead to a foul call. Conan gets by Chisholm to the basket. He lays it in. And a quick timeout called. UPEI still up by 22, but Coach Glenn not wanting to take any chances.
Rightfully so, wanting to slow down this momentum and discuss a couple of things before it gets out of hand.
.7:21 to play here at Thunderbird Arena. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
You're watching the 2025 Indochino U Sports Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. Coverage continues tomorrow with the men's semifinals beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern on CBC. And catch the men's gold medal game Sunday at 4 p.m. followed by the women's game at 7 p.m. both times Eastern on CBC and Sportsnet. The UPEI Panthers looking the more likely to book their place in the Final Four, those U Sports semifinals, get a place in a medal game. Just have to see this one out as Thompson with the shot clock winding down hits Chisholm on the outside, no good. Last out off of the Thunderbirds, so will remain Panthers basketball. Then after a bit of a discussion between the officials, the call is reversed. So UBC will try and make something happen quickly. Nyland Roberts back in off the bench, and he makes a couple of points happen. Trap on Bermejo near the sideline. He gets out of it. Gets the ball right back, deflected by Olsen. Now Gertson coming the other way. Finds Olsen on the wing for three. He rattles it home. Lead is now 17. UBC trying to keep the press on. Jesse almost steals it. Scott, they just barely get it across the timeline, and Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella lays it in.
Almost struggled to get over that timeline, and they stay aggressive. They are down, and it's desperation time. They're finding these critical points, but you need to continue to stay consistent and aggressive.
Kamari Scott through traffic to the outside. Thompson drives, dish. Gonzalez Longarella again, plus the foul.
And this is the one you can't afford to give. You shung a run of points, a triple by Olsen, a finish by Nyland Roberts, and immediately given up a three-point play.
Brendan Sullivan now back in for the T-Birds, as is Booker on the side of the Panthers. Time running out on the Thunderbirds. Olsen catch, fire, in and out. Sullivan the offensive rebound, and he's fouled and hits the deck once again.
And that would be fifth if it's against Gonzalez Longarella, but looks like it's against Scott, and he's picking up his fourth as well. Three players on the Panthers with 4 fouls apiece. 5:35, 21-point deficit. The Thunderbirds backs against the wall.
Now 20, as Sullivan hits both his free throws. Booker again, getting it across the half-court line at the last minute. What a feed! Thompson to Chisholm. Casual bounce pass dime. Sullivan drives. He's rejected. Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella, who's now busting a gut to get down the floor end to end. And he is fired up.
What a beautiful play by the guards, finding the running Gonzalez Longarella, but also on the previous one, Kyrie Thompson feeding and threading the needle to Chisholm, who is unguarded. And again, as the Thunderbirds seem to find a bucket, the Panthers respond with their own.
4 players on the side of the Panthers in double figures. Scott 21, Thompson 14, Bermejo 12, Daniel Gonzalez Longarella 10, and 8 rebounds as well for him. And it has just been an all-around effort for the Panthers here tonight, as they look to be the only seed in the bottom 4 of this U Sports Men's Final 8 to advance to the semifinals. Just 5:06 to play. 76-52 the score. Chateau kicks it out. Roberts fires from the outside. No good. Sullivan. Olsen, he catches and shoots. Another offensive rebound by the T-Birds. It's Jesse, and he can't finish either.
3 empty opportunities by the Thunderbirds.
Thompson drives through the hands of a couple of different players, last off of Gonzalez Longarella. Jesse into the corner. Olsen this time pump fakes, drives, knocked out of his hands, but ruled to have hit the arm rather than the ball.
And Kamari Scott will see his night through on the bench, picking up his 5th and fouling out, leading the Panthers with 21 points, shooting 8 for 12, 7 rebounds, along with 3 steals from the 5th-year senior.
And after he put up 24 points and 7 rebounds against the X-Men in the AUS Championship game to punch the Panthers' ticket to Nationals, followed it up with another fantastic performance. Fantastic performances up and down the lineup for the Panthers tonight, as Thompson unable to finish, Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella unable to finish either. Roberts has it. Now Sullivan left open, and he hits from the outside.
4 minutes and 19 points. Not sure how much they could do, but they did burn off 4 seconds, off the clock, and hope to force an 8-second violation.
They've come very close to forcing one on multiple occasions. Bermejo back in. He dribbles it across the line. Roberts trying to take the charge, and he's called for a block.
Nyland Roberts had the right idea, but just slightly out of position as Bermejo hits the side of his body and not running into him directly.
So side out for the Panthers. Thompson to Bermejo. Gets the screen, drives, fakes the pass, and he floats it home. He has been cool, calm, and collected at the point guard position tonight. Olsen now shoots from the outside, short, trying to get his own rebound, bats it to Chateau. Now Jesse takes the 3, back iron. Last out off of Daniel Gonzalez Longarella.
Desperation shots from the Thunderbirds. And a foul before the play. And Gonzalez Longarella now checking out as he picks up his 5th personal as well.
So 2 starters now fouled out for the Panthers, but shouldn't matter with how late this one is. Chateau steps to the line, one of the 4 fifth-year seniors on this UBC team, along with Sullivan, Jesse, and Radakai, all in their final season of university ball. Not the final 8 that they were hoping for here at home. Jesse, nice steal on the inbounds, goes up with it and lays it in. UBC trying to get back-to-back turnovers. Ball is loose into the hands of Chisholm, who gets it across the timeline just in time. Now the Panthers will try and take the air out of things once again.
Not a scarce there by the Panthers. Almost turned the ball over.
Bermejo, the nifty handles. Another highlight feed. This time to Nicholas Gonzalez Longarella as Olsen steps into the 3, no good, and Sullivan hits the deck once again.
Another offensive board, but in this moment you start questioning whether it's too little, too late for the Thunderbirds. Down 19, another player to foul out for the Panthers as Nicholas Gonzalez-Langarella now will check out of the game.
That's going to bring in Grant Shell for the first time here tonight, making his first appearance of the postseason.
Credit to that Panther team. Coach Daryl Glenn putting up a clinic on transition basketball and increasing the pace as the game gone on and dropping it down in the fourth, controlling the clock, making sure his guard play slows it down when needed.
Bermejo has had a massive hand in controlling the clock. Might be hard to picture if this is your first time seeing him play, but he's in his first year of eligibility for this Panthers team, AUS All-Rookie Team member. Putting on a fantastic performance tonight, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. They should too. This time doesn't get called for playing the ball off the rim on the free throw. Olsen drives, the finger roll is good. Again, UBC goes to trap the Panthers, kicks ball called on Jesse, just 2:10 to play, and down 16. Thompson. Olsen is called for the foul there. UBC still had 1 to give.
It's only his first personal, but 208, 16 points. We've seen miracles in basketball in the past. Would this be one for the books?
Or will it be the Panthers moving on as Shell is fouled by Olsen? He'll head to the line. Grant Shell misses the second-year forward out of Oakville, Ontario. Was a regular off the bench in the regular season. Gets his first career point at the U Sports Final 8. Gertson pulls the triple and his first shot from the outside since early in the first half. Lead is down to 14, which is the closest the T-Birds have been here in the second half, but just 1:52 on the clock. Thompson has it stolen. Olsen, Gertson takes the three and makes the three. The crowd lets loose a roar after that one. It'll take a number of more turnovers, but UBC has it down to 11.
Not sure what's falling off the ceiling, what we saw earlier, but perhaps it's a sprinkle of magic that the Thunderbirds were looking for. Gus Gertson, back-to-back triples. And suddenly, 11-point game with 1:42. Only 10 seconds wasted off that clock. Not sure why it took so long for the Thunderbirds to start playing.
Not sure how often you might say, well, it's only an 11-point game with 1:20 to play, but that's the type of night that it's been for UBC. They'll take any glimmer of potential hope that they can get at this point in time. And this is where the Panthers, having 3 players fouled out, could hurt them. playing a little bit more inexperienced out there on the court. They do get to advance the ball.
Believe Coach Glenn might have another 2 timeouts to work with.
Chisholm to inbound, gets it to Bermejo, drives to the basket, and he is fouled, bumped by Gertson, driving down the end line.
It might not be the foul they want to give up. However, at the same time, with Bermejo driving to the rim, having an open lane, picking up that foul early, not allowing him to get in the shooting motion immediately, and giving them an easy N1 opportunity is a better case scenario in this situation.
Bermejo's first free throw make of the night after struggling earlier on. He misses that one, but the offensive rebound by Grant Shell. Coming in cold off the bench, coming up clutch with the board right there. Now gets it on the inside. He can't finish, but Sam Dick is there to poke it home. Olsen immediately fires as soon as he caught it. No good, and that might just quell the momentum right there as a foul is called on Sullivan.
And all of a sudden, after you had just done the work to close it down and you burn off 24 seconds, give up an offensive board and 3 points to the Panthers.
Hugo Bermejo back to the line. Already a season high 15 points for the first year player out of Spain. Make it 16. Coming up clutch in the biggest game of his career so far. 7 steals as well. Just an incredible all-around performance. One of the 3 natives of Madrid on this UPEI team. Sullivan fires the 3, no good. Bermejo, razzle-dazzle, putting on a show here tonight.
Putting some sauce with that handle to get to the rim. And that's pretty much all she wrote, as the Panthers will definitely come up on top with less than a minute. And in fact, it was too little too late for the Thunderbirds to try and get that run. A heartbreak for the home team. 4 players who will leave the program after this weekend. Like you said, not the final 8 they would have wanted to see out.
Of course, it's not the end of play, not the final game of the season for UBC. They'll face off against Queens tomorrow afternoon in one of the consolation semifinals. For the Panthers, it is the Canada West champion Calgary Dinos who await the number 2 seed as they look to continue their underdog run. They were not the highest ranked team in the AUS this season. They pulled the upset over St. FX in the conference championship. They came into this tournament the number 6 seed, and here they are taking down the home team, the 3-seeded UBC Thunderbirds, in a monumental victory for the program.
And back-to-back victories, setting themselves to a standard, knowing that it won't get easier from this moment forward, but having this momentum, getting into tomorrow's action against the Dinos, led by Nate Patron, the National Player of the Year, and will have to do a lot of work to slow him down, but their guard play is certainly capable of doing more than lots of people maybe in the stands and those watching from home would have expected.
Definitely have shown their tremendous defensive capability, showing why they topped the AUS rankings. And plenty of defensive metrics. UBC trying to force a steal on the final play, but that'll do it. For the first time in 40 years, the UPEI Panthers are moving on to the national semifinals.
And after seeing years of heartbreak and frustration, falling short in 2021-2022 season in a phenomenal game against the University of Victoria Vikes, they pull off an upset and will keep going in this year's Final 8 tournament, hoping for the national championship glory.
UPEI, one of the multiple teams in this tournament, hoping for that first ever national championship, and they are one of the final 4 who have a shot at it across U Sports. They'll play right here in Thunderbird Arena tomorrow night against the Dinos, while UBC head to War Memorial Gym nearby on campus to take on the Queens Gales. They will try and book their place in the Constellation Final, the 5th place game on Saturday. And the traveling support for the Panthers, plenty to cheer about for them. Well worth a trip coast to coast from Charlottetown all the way to Vancouver. And their game certainly traveled as well.
You know, to those who stayed up, make my math count, but 2:30 a.m. on the Atlantic coast. Credit to all of y'all supporting your players and your team, as they certainly earned this victory here at Thunderbird Arena.
Adam Olsen is named UBC's player of the game. 17 points, team high for him tonight. Just was unable to get his outside shot to fall for a lot of the nights. And on the other side, it's Kamari Scott, well deserving of his player of the game honors. Before he fouled out, he had 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals. Part of that dynamic, electric backcourt for this UPEI team. And a moment that none of them will forget anytime soon. Final stats are brought to you by Wilson, makers of the official U Sports basketball. The Panthers hold the T-Bears to 35% shooting, 19.4% from 3, forced them into 22 turnovers. And that really tells the story. It was defense first for the Panthers.
Most certainly, 22 turnovers, 31 turnovers off the points off turnovers. Being aggressive, not shying away from the challenge.
And that'll do it for us here tonight. It's been an incredible marathon, wonderful day of basketball across both gyms here on the UBC campus. My name is Jake McGrail. Thank you to Ilya Kurbanov for joining me on the call. And we hope that you tune in for the great matchups we have tomorrow here at the Indochino U Sports Final 8, both men's and women's. See you then.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.